What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and y'all that know me know that I'm super serious about my shower care and body care routines, my shaving routine, my body washes, feminine hygiene routine. And today's a little bit different because we're going to be judging whether or not the dollar store items can actually work their way into your bathroom and help you with your skincare regimens. Now, I'm judging these things firsthand. Some of these things I've never tried before, but I'm going to try them. And not only that, but you guys are going to get to go on a field trip with me to see what I purchased under 15 bucks. Yes. So it's going to really help those of us that are trying to budget or just want to try some new things and see if some cheaper and inexpensive items can work their way into our regimens and routines. So down below in the information section, I've also linked all of my old shower care routines for you to try out and check out. But today I would love to have your input down below on if you've tried these products before or if you plan to try them in the future. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina. Today we done took a whole field trip to the Dollar Tree. Today is going to be dedicated to all of us that are on a budget or might find ourselves out of town, right? So sometimes you out of town and you forget some of your products. Just stop by Dollar Tree real quick. Whether it be body care, V care, face care, skin care. I'm just going to show y'all what we can pick up here and keep it under 10 to 15 bucks. Let's go. And y'all, don't forget to thumbs up this video if you like it, comment, share, and subscribe. And also click on those notification bells so you can know when I upload on Thursdays and Sundays. Make sure you also check out my Now That's Life podcast, which is now live. And you can check it out on all your major podcasting platforms. Links to my podcast can be found down below in the information section. So we're going to start with the body wash because, as we know, you need to wash your body. Okay?
And your legs.
And your legs. We have a lot of, surprisingly enough, some body washes. Dermasil. I know y'all seen Dermasil before. I like this because I know the name. It's a fairly thick body wash and the scent is pretty good. So very basic stuff. They have some other versions of body wash. Some of them kind of look like things you know, but they not quite what you know. Of course, for $1, you're not gonna get like, you know, like ultra top of the line stuff, but you're gonna get stuff that you can at least use and feel okay using on your body. So y'all, if you don't feel comfortable going with the body washes and you don't recognize anything, there's always bar soaps here that I recognize. You have moisturizing ones, like we recognize Dove and Ivory, Olive Olay. Pick you up a bar of Dove or something. That'll last you at least a week or two. So y'all, of course, you gotta have something to wipe your body down with. You know, y'all know I believe in exfoliating and using loofahs and things like that. So the good thing about Dollar Tree, they got this bad boy right here. Now, I don't use this on my body because it just feels weird. But for your back, y'all talking about that back acne and stuff like that? Boom. So I wanted to tell you guys I'm no stranger to the Dollar Tree loofahs, and I actually like them pretty well. Here's a tip. Dig deep. Don't go with the ones on the outside because they probably fell on the floor 15 times. So dig deep and get yours from way underneath. They might not have the colors you want, but you definitely don't want the one that's been on the floor all day and they just picked up and put back down. You need to rinse this off anyway when you get it. So, but here you go. If you need a softer option, get a sponge. Even if you want to do like an exfoliator and keep it simple, they have like a facial scrub. For me, if I can use it on my face, I use it on my body. I'm probably gonna go ahead and pick up one of these facial scrubs as an exfoliator for the body. Water, you got glycerin in here, so you have the option of bath soaks, but what I would say is more safe, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, is Epsom salt. Epsom salt is pretty much the same. I would probably go with Epsom salt instead of like a bath soak here because it's going to probably have a lot of additives to it, whereas Epsom salt you really can't change. So if you're going to do a bath soak, you might just want to do an Epsom salt and add yourself some essential oils, and most of y'all have that stuff anyway, like lemongrass, tea tree, eucalyptus, peppermint, something like that, instead of getting something that's already scented. And I say that across the board, but being at the Dollar Tree, you definitely don't know what you, I'm just saying. Okay. So y'all, when it comes to the fem wash, because we know we usually have a different wash for that, They have limited amounts of wash there, so they have their own brand. But what oh, hallelujah. So this is to compare to Summer's Eve cleansing wash, and I like to turn it over and look at the ingredients. I've used Summer's Eve, and you all know I use a couple different other ones now, mainly ones that are quite natural. Of course, you want to test it on your body first, but we're gonna pick up one of those and try that out. Also, for the wiping, you got some feminine cleansing clothes. Yes. I don't do sprays and stuff like that, but that is available here as well. Y'all know I don't douche, but that's over there too. Y'all, I kind of cheated, so I have to add $1 to my final total, but I found this feminine foaming wash over at another Dollar Tree. We know we got the feminine wipes, right? But sometimes, especially if you're in a dorm or something like that, everybody don't use the same toilet tissue that you want, or if you're traveling, get you some wet wipes. It says refreshing waterfall. I would prefer it's just not a refreshing waterfall. After further research off camera, these are not for your bum bum, so no. I would not be using that.
Don't use for your bum bum. You have a bum bump.
No. Okay, y'all, we actually found the wipes, and the problem is they was right next to the face wipes. Flushable wipes. If you want to keep something in addition to the things you're wiping your butt with, like your toilet paper, then you have your flushable wipes. Shavers. You're going to want to make sure you have something to shave with. So they have a lot of these, but y'all know I love Pure Silk, but they don't have, of course, my more expensive razors here, but I will go with the Pure Silk because that is a brand that I recognize. So you can go with what you feel comfortable with. Isn't that crazy, y'all? Y'all know I buy Pure Silk at the store, at the drugstore, but you can just pick up a small can here, and you know a little goes a long way. I keep cans of this, maybe a little bigger than this, for months. So you got that as an option as well. And lots of shaving cream. You good here. Y'all, believe it or not, Dollar Tree tends to have a large selection of moisturizers. Some you recognize and some you don't, like some by Dove. I've even called Nivea there sometimes. And then there's the Dermasil. Then you'll also want to check the baby aisle. Why? Because if you have more sensitive skin, the baby aisle tends to have simpler ingredients and simpler things in it. So Dermasil is in many different stores. Just because it's a name brand doesn't make it better, but sometimes if you recognize the brand, it makes it easier to use for you. Some of us just don't like our cereal to say cereal, right? We would rather it say Captain Crunch or, you know, Kellogg's. Basically, the active ingredient is skin protectant. So it's not going to be no different from most of the stuff that you have at home already. Probably go with something for dry skin treatment as opposed to going with something more frilly. So y'all, I came for some regular oil, but I think I'm gonna go with, I looked at this oil, the body oil, coconut oil, and sea salt oil, but you might want to keep it simple and just get some baby oil instead of getting the cutesy oil. So that's just an idea, but I think I am gonna give their oil a try. I'm telling you, they stocked in the deodorants, but what I noticed in the Dollar Tree is they usually have the same deodorants you see at Walmart, all of that. So I like Secret. I trust Secret. I trust Arm & Hammer on my body. Of course, make sure you go with what's best for you. But I'm gonna grab one of these Shower Fresh Secrets. Looks good to me for $1. Also fitting in the category of body care, they have triple antibiotic ointment. I've never used it, but it's there. And then they also have all the dental care items that you might need, toothpaste, toothbrushes, all for $1. So y'all, I'm about ready to ring up, and I'm only going to use the items that I purchased today for the shower routine.
$13.91.
Y'all, I'm actually pretty proud of myself coming in at under $15 and make it up out of there. And I'm only going to use what I purchased today in my shower routine. So we're going to see how this works out. So here we are, y'all, about to enter this shower zone with Dollar Tree products only. So we can't say it can't be done. We're going to see how these things feel and if they actually work. Like, I don't know if I know. Now, I'm familiar with some things, but like I said, some of this is going to be quite new for me as well. So we'll be trying something new together. Here we are starting off with the body wash, and I told myself I'm not going to use much just because I want to give it a good shot at seeing how it works with the loofah. So of course I'm using the Dollar Tree loofah as well. So far so good. Normally I can tell if something's not going to be too good for my skin because it automatically starts to feel super squeaky clean, and this cleanser actually says that it's moisturizing. So I'm happy that I'm not like squeaking as I'm cleaning, which means it's a straight up surfactant or almost like some straight up soap. So it actually feels really soft and really good, and my skin doesn't feel dried out. So that's a good sign so far. I was actually pretty shocked about that, and I didn't have to use much either. So that was also a pretty big shock for me, especially for it to only be $1. And like I said, y'all, nothing in this video is sponsored. I purchased all of this, so I definitely have no reason to just gush on and on about Dermasil, but it is pretty decent. Now I get to try my foam sponge. So y'all, I normally only wash and rinse my body 2 to 3 times in each shower, but because I want to try out all the products, I wanted to show you guys how I'm using them. So with this foam sponge, I used about the same amount of the soap, the Dermasil, as I did before, and I noticed that it's still not doing like a whole lot of shampooing action, which is good. It's keeping my skin pretty moisturized. And I also was pretty fond of this foam sponge. I might start getting some of my foam sponges from the Dollar Tree because this one was actually pretty good quality. Like, if you have a bad sponge, those of you all that have ever gotten your hands on one, you know that they start to fall off in bits and chunks and pieces almost immediately, and this one didn't lose any pieces or chunks. So for $1, I think that's pretty nice. And I also like that it had light, kind of like an exfoliating kind of feel to it as well. And my skin felt pretty soft yet again. So truthfully speaking, the foam sponge actually gets an A from me. It's a little bit better than decent. So now it's time for one of my favorite things, which is focusing on cleansing my back. And I'm using this loofah with the attachment. And y'all, I was pretty shook by this too. It's not flimsy at all. Sometimes you buy these things, especially for $1, and they're flimsy. So I'll tell you now, this is not a flimsy piece of plastic on the end of the loofah. I actually was able to maneuver it pretty well. Now it's straight, so it's a little awkward wiping your back because it's not curved, but certainly worth $1, right? You'll get several uses out of it, and you'll probably keep it for a long time as long as you keep the loofah clean and dry. So I liked it. Now it's time to use our facial scrub turned body scrub. And y'all, I was pretty shook that it smelled pretty good. And the product wasn't super thin. It was actually pretty rich and thick. It felt more like a lotion with something like an exfoliator in it. So it's not gonna be something that foams up. So I was a little shocked that it's for the face because it's a little bit thick to my liking if I was going to use it on my face. But what I will say is that on your body, it probably is pretty good. Like, it left my skin not only pretty exfoliated, even in the areas that are a little bit more sensitive, like under my arms and up between the upper parts of my legs, but it made it feel really soft. And the thick and rich consistency also kind of made my skin feel soft without leaving a film. So I did really like that, and I think that that's something to be noted for $1. Like, made me pretty happy. Shoot. Also, I think it would be pretty hard to over exfoliate with this because there weren't a lot of little beads in there, but just enough to get a nice soft exfoliation going. So I also like that as well. So it seemed like it didn't have too many of the little beads that are gonna irritate the skin, but keep it pretty nice and slightly exfoliated. And now for the feminine care, I will say I'm not the biggest fan of the scent of this one. It was okay, but not my favorite. I'm just using my hands with it, so I did get to feel the texture of it. It's not too soapy, but it's not my first choice in terms of a wash. But it does rinse away nicely and cleanly. However, I did like the feminine foaming wash. Isn't that crazy? For $1, it smells really good. It had a quiet smell, if you will, not too loud at all. but I will say it's a little different from the foaming wash I'm used to using, which is all organic, of course, but it melts right in a little bit differently. This one takes a little bit more time to rinse off, but I think it's worth a try. It smells really good. Then the Pure Silk, of course, I'm used to that, so this was nice to have something that I already use at home, but trying it from the dollar store might be a little bit different. It actually wasn't. But this razor, hold on, baby. Your girl was really not trying to slice and dice, so I was actually shaving the same way I do with my more expensive Chic Hydro Silk razor, which works really well. But these really had me kind of, a little bit up in arms. They were working really well, and I did the same process you guys have seen before, about 3 to 4 passes down, then 3 to 4 passes across, just to ensure I have all the hair cut, and I try not to go back over the same area so that I don't irritate. Now let's head down to the legs. Let's see what we get down there. So I just rubbed the shaving cream on. Strangely enough, this seemed a little bit richer even than the kind that I buy from the drugstore. So I might be giving this one a shot. This might be a winner for me. I liked the way that this shaving cream was, and it's like the one that I have, but maybe this formula is just a little bit thicker. And so I just did it with my legs as well. Let me tell you, these Pure Silk razors only had 2 layers of razors. I'm used to having 4 for mine. But I didn't find that to be a problem at all. I didn't get hurt. I didn't get irritated. My skin didn't have any problems or deformities. I'm pretty happy with this. And now it's time for the after shower care, and I'm just taking the Secret deodorant, putting it under each arm and rubbing it in just gently. It's hot down here in Texas, so I want to stay fresh. But y'all, it did not burn, so that means that I didn't nick or cut myself, so the shaving cream and the shavers worked pretty well. So I'm a fan, and the Dermasil is actually pretty thick. I was shook by that. Now, I wanted to see if it was going to leave like a thick film on my skin, and it didn't. But what I will say about it is it took a lot longer to rub in than my normal lotion, but what can I expect for $1? And it wasn't, though, that it left a film, and I didn't mind it at all. The smell was fresh, the scent was fresh, and it wasn't too overpowering or overbearing, not flowery or anything like that. And it went in once it went in. It took a little while, but it was worth it. And then over top that, I put some of that coconut oil and sea salt oil. And actually, this didn't have much of a scent at all. So if you're looking for a scent, it's not really going to give you much. But it went in and it was pretty decent. Not like my normal oils that I mix myself, but I ain't complaining. If I was out somewhere and I was threatened to be ashy, I wouldn't be. I would go straight to the dollar store. So it's worth it. And I did the same thing down below, making sure that I rubbed this into my legs. And that day that I filmed, I actually went for a pedicure after, and I was not ashy. So even going out in the elements, sometimes you get ashy. I wasn't ashy. So I guess Dermasil talking about something, and this coconut oil and sea salt was talking about something, but I oiled and lotioned all the way up and I was good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.